Hello, mic check? Can you hear everything? Can you hear the music in the background? Hello? Okay, very nice. But give me 1 quick second again, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm so glad that you guys can hear everything. Follow, thank you for joining the membership earlier too. I saw the notif for it before stream started. This is today we're only gonna be playing bardcore music, and I know for sure that it may be I think the sounds might come through, but it is what it is. These songs are just too good. They're too fantastic. You know more about the lore of the dragons at this game than I know of my own father. Let's go. Yeah. So today's stream is like we're legit starting from like thing 1. You know what I mean? Like I what's the word called? I have I have this player's handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, Bolo's book of monsters, and something I forgot. All from 2018. It's all from 2018. So I also saw on Reddit that there was a recommendation on how to go about the player's handbook for those who are new to the player's handbook guide, which I'm not, too new to it, but for the sake of kind of relearning and also going about it again, from the start as a DM as opposed to a player, I think it would be good to go from the start. Hello. So from debut, something that I really wanted to do was that I eventually wanted to make a one-shot for my gen mates, and then from there on, potentially one-shots for other players as we change. I wanted to be able to learn how to DM, because it was like something that I've never done before. I've always been on the player's end, so I was interested in getting to know how one may go about being the creator as opposed to being the creator in master as opposed to being the player not knowing anything. I was wondering what it felt like to have to make up everything on the spot, or to play a story, or to play different characters. Like, I think that is super freaking amazing, and this is something that I've always wanted to try. I DM for the first time this year with my roommate. How did you like it as opposed to being a player? They do offer one-shots you can do to modify your vibe, I would say. Yeah. I've read a bunch of one-shots and they're all super good. And I was still inquisitive whether or not, for a first-time DM, whether it would be better to grab a one-shot and modify it, or whether it would be better to kind of homebrew a one-shot campaign, which I know I can finish in one session, if you get what I mean. Like that kind of thing. But I do like the idea of building from a pre-existing one-shot and maybe changing up the theme of anything of it around and such like that, while keeping the integrity of the one-shot. DMing is pretty hard to get into, but very fun once you get the hang of it. Good luck. Thank you. I actually watched a D&D live show recently, where it was like an audience interaction with the stage itself, right? Live roles, live improv, live theater play, everything was live. It was actually absolutely amazing. What made the live D&D performance so amazing was the DM. She played multiple characters, but she was able to improv everything on the spot. Like, it was ridiculous how interactive and how kind of how amazing she was at storytelling. I think a DM that is able to tell a story through I mean, of course through words, but also through like imagery is like one of the best ever, like best experiences ever. And it got me so intrigued as a audience member, as if I was playing it myself on stage. The number one tip I can give is that your players will never behave. You will end up improvising far more than you think. The derailment is inevitable. you go the party steps into the tavern. It's a little dim. It's quiet, aside from the occasional mumbling and arguments in the corners at the table. You see the barkeep tuning, I mean, what's it called? Fiddling with the handkerchief, with the plate. On one side of the bar, you see a dark cloak figure hunched over with an ale, a mug of ale in front. Untouched, still clearly full, but you can sense there's something a little off about the figure. On the other side, a 3-foot goblin with a clown hat eating some sausages, biggest glizzies you ever seen. Players, what would you like to do now? Everyone goes towards the fucking goblin, even though I made a whole story for the figure, and it's just like yeah, I could have told you the angsty story of how this figure came from the wizard's tower, pushed down to a lower tier after discovering something wrong in the equation of this time travel formula, and being stepped aside, he holds now the knowledge of everything he's learned from the wizard tower, and to lead you on this journey to discovering the depths of the truth of the havoc and of the unknown. But no, you want to go talk to Biden, the goblin, who's just here to have a good time and eat some glizzies. Like, you like what? Okay, I mean, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. I guess we'll go to the freaking goblin then. Like, I've been DMing for years since high school, being able to make things up on the spot and reacting to other people's unexpected responses is the hardest part and the most fun. It is so freaking difficult, but I can see the enjoyment in it. The way that you have to like twist and turn stories and make it new, even though you're still trying to follow the script itself. It's like it's just so complex, but at the same time, it just makes the campaign just so much more enjoyable. You're gonna make a throwaway NPCs and players are gonna hone in on it. Yeah, it's exactly it. I've sadly never finished up a long campaign. They always end up being cancelled. Oh yeah. I've done like a few one-shots, but I've also ventured into a few longer sessions myself. But I think I've only finished one fully, and it took like a semester. The one that I'm currently in is actually probably the longest campaign I've been in thus far, and we only meet up like I think once every 2 to 3 weeks on. So it's still really enjoyable. I'm playing a really angsty rogue, as expected. For sure, go for the figure. How do you do with players making a random NPC into the important part with a deep, compelling backstory? Well, I would be interested in seeing what the players themselves, like their backstory, but also who they hold close to it, why they hold them close to them. And it would be fun. It would be interesting having to incorporate them into the story somehow. Oh my god. Wait, I can't spoil my campaign. But one of my family members appeared in the campaign that we're doing, and they didn't appear as themselves, but as a shell of themselves. And I was like, no, no, what? My brother. Players, I find the silliest little guy and bond with him. It's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Wait, let me see. Biden the Mind Goblin. Ah! Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow when it comes down to doing stuff you didn't expect and use it to be in the story. Yes, and I also have to remember to write them down, I would say, because I'm definitely gonna forget like the name of the freaking pixie that we saved at like the edge of the forest or something like that. The truth of D&D, improv group with dice. The dice takes care of everything. The dice is your life. Oh yes, oh yes. Let me keep up and read this. Let me see. In a campaign I played some time ago, we killed a goblin trope but saved one and adopted him thinking he was a kid. It was only he was only small. He became our lawyer. And the little guy is your attorney. That's really intriguing. You have 2 pages of background for the quest NPC and you randomly name Unhalfling Jim Steele, and the player only wants to know what's going on with Jim and can they bring him along. It is what it is. The derailment is inevitable. Hello, Oleg. Oh my god, you guys have so many interesting campaigns and so many interesting NPCs. I'm set to play a paladin who fell out with their goddess. Oh my god. One of my favorite ever things is when you have a character whose action, thoughts, and story is based on faith and religion. Throughout the story, the said player, when they lose faith and when they lose devotion, like how that affects the story and how it affects their character and how they play, it's one of the most interesting things to me by far. That is why I absolutely love playing paladins, because I think the 2 paths that I play paladin is one a paladin with strong faith in their god or goddess, to the point where they are by nature lawful good. But throughout the story, with each character they met, as they delve into deeper parts of the city or deeper parts of the forest, or when they start encountering, those outside of their kind of sector, their faith goes down, because why would my goddess like look down upon these people? Why are they not given the same goods? Like, and then this inner struggle and turmoil of like whether or not this is the right thing to do, whether or not this is what being faithful means. And I love that kind of setting so much. And on the other side of someone who's already lost faith, so there's a being like an oath breaker, for example, someone who's already broken their oath for the sake of their own morals, as opposed to going after what their religion dictates. Like, I love playing that kind of story so much. Players will always make their own BBEG to fight, regardless of what the campaign BBEG is, such as a door that is not locked and they spend 10 minutes trying to figure out what it is locked and trapped. Even the best of thieves would not be able to figure out, because the DM does not have everything made for it. Currently doing a Deadlands D20 campaign with the friends, where we have been doing for half a year and a half now. They only stay on track because they take the threat of the world ending seriously. That is good. We must stop the world from ending. Thank you, players, for being on track. Hello, Nicola, how are you? The harder you try to write the perfect narrative with every important NPC filled in already, the more aggressively things will end up derailed. Gotta embrace whatever NPCs the players choose to love. That is very true. I'm really excited to see where it takes us, but also like what bullshit comes out of it. That's why I love watching the campaign Tales of Aventura, I think is what they're called. There's everything about it is just so entertaining. Every twist and turn is the absolute best. Pork chops, I'm so jealous. I was in a campaign, we entered a cursed dungeon. There was an archway that was cursed with animal transformation. Our ranger's pet was cursed, turned into a dragon, proceeded to wipe us. Oh my god. Did all the players die? Did anyone survive at all? Is everyone in your one shot going to be a D&D? Yes, everyone that's involved. Ms. Addie, Ms. Admira, Ms. Fish, and Ms. May have not played D&D before, nor have much knowledge about it as far as I know. But I am the only one who has some knowledge, of course, not so much, and I'm not so knowledgeable that I can easily DM or I know about everything. I still reference the book, you know, YouTube, everything a lot. I used to play a little Cobalt Barbarian who wanted to be a pirate. Some of the funniest time I've ever played. Oh, I love that. I love it when you do like the most unexpected class combos. That is the best thing ever. And the backstory, chef's kiss. You're ready for everything to have a charm, seduce, charisma roll. Okay, so are you trying to lie to me or are you trying to flirt with me? Either roll a persuasion check or a deception check. All right, before we derail again, let me real quick look at this Reddit page that I have, which showcases the pages that I should go to. So let me see. This is the player's handbook. This is the reader's handbook for reading the player's handbook. Okay, so reading the introductory page 5 to 8. I think this is 4. This is 5. So I have this one. One time, we only lasted 3 sessions. Let's go. So the general gist of D&D is that D&D, well, how you start the D&D. D&D describes the environment, the scope of it, session 0, you know, what the players can't see with their current eyesights and vision. Players describe what they want to do. DM narrates the results of the adventurer's actions, and depending on the player's actions, they either roll for certain things, or they don't have to roll and they can just proceed if there is no consequences. Wonder what this is. I mean, we all know about the D20 die. We all know about the damage size, oh my god, the cursed D100 die. That D100 die is one of the scariest dies I've ever encountered in my life. Give me 1 second. I think that one thing I'm always going to be confused about is in which cases should you be... 1 second. I think one of the more difficult parts for me learning how to DM is keeping track of players' character sheets. Because I always, even for myself, like even I have a hard time keeping track of my own sheet when I play. So I had to keep track of more players. One second again, please. Okay, going on. So having to... Isn't there an app where you can download where you can share sheets and keep track of everything? Yeah, there are some. Well, the most, I think the most common one is roll. Isn't like Roll20 or something like that? Like that one is the one that I've used before. There's also another one that I've used, but I completely forgot what it is. There's also one that Dan recommended, which is apparently a lot better, a lot more easier to use than Roll20. Hi Hunt, hope you're doing well. Love the all-star in the background. Yeah, Bardcore baby. Redeeming, you can keep track of the player's characters, or you can honor rule them and have them actively keep track of their stuff depending on how much you trust them. I think it's also going to be hard for them to keep track as well when I'm thinking about it, because it's also a lot of information for them who's not played before. Anyone using the encounter table raw as an actual psychopath? Oh my god. I eventually would love to do that. Of course, I would not do that in the first one shot, but I think that it's always going to be a good, you know, back burner where it'd be fun to kind of mess with the story a little bit. Players enter an antique shop. On one side, you have a very impressive wall full of shiny gold goods. On the other side, it looks a bit more torn down, a little bit more dull. But there are some sparkles that you can see there. Players, what do you guys do today? One of the players, like, you know how in that one movie, Cabin in the Woods, where it's based around, you know, all the stereotypes of a cabin in the woods, but when the people, like the stereotype people, go down to the basement and they start touching stuff, but each item leads to a certain type of monster. I feel like in that type of setting, with being in an antique shop would be the perfect opportunity to use the 1d100 die to choose what they encounter, what happens in the future based on their choices. I feel like that'd be quite cool. Foundry is the best, but it's more technical. You have to run it yourself. Yeah, I've also heard about Foundry, but I think the Foundry is a bit too difficult for me. Pen and paper is always good too. But I haven't done like an actual physical character sheet in like years. Like, it's been a long time. But maybe this is a good time as any, because using a Google Doc is a no bueno situation. Yeah, the horror movies, and it is a really good parody movie, but it is really, 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 really good. It's really good because it makes fun of a lot of the stereotypes that you see in horror movies, but at the same time keeping it so real and so like, wow, anything could happen. And then one of the scenes in Cabin in the Woods has like, I don't know, like 4 million views or something like that, because it's so impressive in how they showcase all the different types of monsters. Like, it's terrifying. Cabin in the Woods campaign sounds so fun. Doesn't it sound so fun? You each play a character trope, and you must explore the cabin to figure out the reason for the forest's misty and gloominess, and reason why people have been getting lost in the forest. And then they go about the adventure and the campaign with the Cabin in the Woods. Have you seen the 2024 Dragon redesigns for D&D? No, I haven't actually. Dragon redesigns. Is that why they had to update the player's handbook? So this one now is race, sub-races, and also classes. I think that in one of the other handbooks, it discusses the opportunity, well, it discusses different types, well, additional races and additional sub-races, which are pretty sick. I think I recall playing, no, there was a certain point where I played a merfolk, I think what it was. And that was a really interesting. Well, I only played like 2 sessions of that campaign, but it was really good. I played a merfolk druid, but instead of like the typical druid turning into like ground mobs, it was only water mobs, or mobs that needed some sort of liquid. And that was really interesting. I was unfortunately not able to play much of that character. I wish though, one day. Speaking of horror, what have I played? Call of Cthulhu. Oh, Call of Cthulhu. Well, that's a classic, no? Call of Cthulhu is good. Any fairies? I've not played any fairies. Yeah, I I have the Reddit page pulled up on my phone and I can't track. There's no water to polymorph the owl to get around. Oh my god. It is painful. It is painful. It is painful. Alright, something that I also need to learn about how to do is the hit points, because even in the campaign that I'm doing right now, I always forget to roll for the additional hit points, and I'm like, why am I level 5 but I'm still 24 health? Like, I am dying one shot to everything. It is the most painful thing in the world. Proficiency bonuses, ability scores, of course we know that. Strength measures natural athleticism, bodily power. Dexterity, physical agility, reflex, balance. Constitution, health, stamina, vital force, intelligence, mental acuity, information recall, analytical skills. Wisdom is awareness, intuition, insight. And charisma is confidence, eloquence, and leadership. They tend to be one-shots that they last long enough to have really interesting messed up characters. Yeah, the Call of Cthulhu ones that I've seen before have only been one-shots too, but it's always interesting to see what kind of players and what kind of route they choose to go about it. It is the absolute best. It's describing character, choosing equipment, okay, and then first level of play, second level of plays. Okay, now let's look at the races that are available real quick. In the player handbook, you have the dwarf race. I've never played dwarf before, but dwarfs are, let's see, they're under 5 feet tall. So if any of you guys are under 5 feet tall, you can't be considered a dwarf. Dwarfs. Let's see. Doubts the adventure might be motivated for a desire for treasure, for their own sake, for a specific person, or even out of a desire to help others. Let me see. HP is based on class and con modifier. Yes, I always forget to update my health. Perhaps I'm a gnome. How tall is Fish again? Miss Fish is like, I think she could almost be considered a dwarf. But me and Miss Adi are way taller. The dwarf class, let's see, dwarf trait. Dwarves are great. Dwarves, I think that you have a lot of fun things that you could. Would a League of Legends? What is that? What is Teemo and Tristana again? The Yordles. Are Yordles considered to be dwarves? Please talk to me in metric system. I only know feet. Well, in Foundry, your health is updated automatically. See, that's so much more convenient. I think that elves are... I think the most played, I think in order, is elf, human, and tiefling. I feel like that is the order. Elves are fun, but I feel like... I feel like you can play elves really interestingly, but I don't know. I don't really find elves to be so interesting unless you're playing like a drow character. I think that drows are like the most fun sub race to play because they tend to be like more similar to how tieflings are treated. Human elf tiefling. Yeah, human elf tiefling. You would say that Yordles are more like gnomes. Gnomes and gnomes and dwarves. What is the main difference between the two? Yeah, there's not really much downside to playing elves and tieflings, right? Besides like the social aspect of it that you may encounter in games, I feel like, I mean, they have increased ability score. They have proficiency with quite a lot of like common weapons. You have dark vision. Speed is good, and you also have size as well. You have keen senses, or you have perception, and then you also have what is that? They don't have to like long rest or something like that. They can just like short rest with like meditation or something, right? Am I mistaken? You want to play? I love playing Dragonborn too. Dragonborn is quite fun. And I think one of my first one shots I played a Dragonborn, like a really regular one. And something that a cool move that I did with my Dragonborn character at the time was that we were fighting a major mob. I believe it was also of like the dragon species or a form of it. And then I was playing a Dragonborn Paladin during that time. Of course, Paladin once more. They got up to some point in the fight where I jumped onto the mob, and then its mouth was open, so I blew flames into its mouth, like down its throat. And the DM during that time was actually really excited about it, so gave me bonus damage along with advantage, because I was literally in there. I was literally in the throat of the guy, and it was actually quite cool. Tiefling Artificer and Bear Totem Barbarian Turtle. What the heck is a Bear Totem Barbarian Turtle? Hi Deku. 5e smoothed out a lot of the unique upsides and downsides of various things. Become more of an RP thing. Yeah, I guess it's up to DM and also up to players on how they want to go about that. I think that solely, like, if I'm not mistaken, like Baldur's Gate like relies pretty heavily on like the upsides and downsides of things. But then 5e nowadays is like less so that and more so how you go about role-playing the characters, right? Was I a gold Dragonborn? I don't recall. Like, this was years ago. This was like, this wasn't like 2018, 2019. It was a while ago. Gave me the rule of cool. Yeah, it was such a cool attack. They had to give it to me. Halfling. Halfling are about 3 feet tall. So halflings are shorter than dwarves. Are halflings the shortest race of all? Kind and cheerful people. They rarely build kingdoms of their own. Halflings are pretty cool. I don't remember if I played a halfling or gnome now. What was my cleric character? What the heck? You can do things like winged tiefling, which really changes how you play. Heck yeah. Oops, give me 1 second. Gnomes are shorter than halflings? That is crazy. Of course, human. Where are my human fighters at? My human fighters, rise up. Bear Totem Barbarian Turtle is turtle that is barbarian class and subclass into Path of the Totem using a bear totem. It gives you strength advantage stuff. Oh, now that seems extremely fun for a barbarian, no? That sounds really fun for a barbarian. Barbarian class, this is really fun. Okay, well, we know about human. We know about humans. Kobolds are small, standing roughly at 2 and 2.5 feet. But kobold classes, I don't think appear in like the base D&D player handbook, right? That's in the other book for it. I've never played a kobold before, but it sounds like it'd be really interesting, really fun, especially. Steve, the human fighter with 12 and every stat. It's very dependent on the DM, yes. In 5e, especially the DM doesn't bring it up for RP, it won't matter much. BG3 as a virtual DM does use the racial stuff a lot for RP purposes. Yes, it does. That's exactly what I was asking. That was a perfect answer. Thank you so much. Alright, let me see. Yeah, Dragonborns are really freaking cool. Dragonborns are a very proud race. It's very awesome. I kind of want to play Dragonborn again. I honestly, I didn't know about the different lines of Dragonborns, like the ancestry stuff. And I didn't know that each of the different draconic lines kind of corresponded to a different type of damage type. So I guess that, yeah, when I'm seeing this now, I was a gold Dragonborn. That is pretty sick. And then we have here our gnomes. Our gnomes are, let me see, 3 feet tall. YT Borg, thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Snake Eating Mouse got the membership. Wait, oh my god, before I forget, I'm so sorry. I meant to do this earlier and I completely forgot to. Wanted to real quick show off two things. The first thing are these new emotes that were made by Yame Usagi. Her Twitter is actually uploaded onto my description. So you can actually check her out. I love her art so much, and she was so kind as to have gifted me these amazing emotes for members to use on YouTube and also soon on Discord too. So I'll be probably uploading the two of them for stickers, and I don't know the rest to be used for emotes or not, but if people wanted them, that I could ask for that. But yeah, thank you so much to Yameusa for gifting me these amazing emotes. I hope that you guys enjoy them. I'm not able to upload all of them yet because unfortunately I don't have enough slots, but in a future stream I will, you know, have some incentives pull up if you guys may be interested, then that we can pop open the incentives and get some more slots going. And for now, hope you guys can enjoy the ones that we do have uploaded. These are so freaking cute. I love them so much. The crying one, the dust buddy pat, the what one is so funny, the pleading one, the heart. We finally have a heart emote. It's the best. Wolfpack one, I would need to draw one. I need to draw that. More member, more slots unlocked. Yeah. But we'll do that. We'll go for that when we have incentives to give you guys. A second thing is actually I finished it up, so I'm going to be posting it shortly again. And this is for a thank you to members. I drew / designed the little thing that you guys hopefully you guys like. It's a little like mobile wallpaper thing. It should fit phone wallpapers if anything, but just as a thank you for all your patience and everything and understanding, I drew that, designed that, and that will be uploaded to the YouTube members post soon, and also on the members Discord chat soon. Yeah, I'll upload the full version of it. This is the full version right here. I even have a little dust buddy figure here now. Look at the dust buddy cloud. I think it's really cute. I hope you guys enjoy it. Just some little updates here and there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Alright, going back into it. We have our gnomes here. Gnomes are typically the ones that are living underground, if I'm not mistaken. They're a pretty fun race to play. Actually, why does half elf? I guess because it's not really fully elf or fully human. Get your welcome back fan art in. Oh my god, I'm so excited to see. Half elves are pretty common too, like players wise, right? I know I've definitely played a half elf before. Half orc. I've never played an orc class before either. I don't know, I never considered the orc class to be particularly interesting to me, but then I was only playing like elf and tiefling, so maybe that's why, you know? And then here we have the tiefling class. The tiefling class is really cool. I do enjoy playing tiefling a lot. Because of, I think the reason why I like playing tiefling a lot is the ability score modifier, along with the fire damage resistance is really good. But also that I really like playing monk and cleric when it comes to playing tiefling. I think it's super freaking fun. What do you call a choir of orcs? An orchestra. Okay. Tieflings are considered to be the demonic class, like the demon the infernal /demon class ? Is that how you would say it? They essentially have like the hellish type of look to them. derived from the 9 hells themselves, but the Tiefling class is genuinely really fun to play. Oh, Tiefling, sorry, race is really fun to play. Now for classes, we have Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard. As I've kind of named all these beginning classes, can you guys like just spam in the chat like your favorite class to play? What is the majority favorite for the Dust Buddies? What is the most fun for you guys to play? For myself, I know what I'm gonna put. I'm gonna write it down here. That is my favorite class. As you know, maybe I've mentioned it like 5,000 times, but the reason why I like playing Paladin so much is that despite it still using spells, it is easier for me to keep track of Paladin spell slots as opposed to like Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. So the classes I've never played before are the spellcaster classes essentially, because I don't know how to keep track of my spell slots. Especially for like level 1, level 2 spell slots are impossible for me. Okay, I see Wizard, Paladin, Wizard, Sorcerer, Cleric, Paladin, Monk, and Druid, Paladin, Barbarian, Sorcerer, Detective, Paladin, Fighter, Barbarian, Monk, Paladin. So I'm seeing Paladin classes and some spellcaster classes. I haven't seen any of the Dex classes. Well, I mean, I guess Monk is Dex. What's the difference between Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard? Warlock is the class that it's like darker type of magic, or magic that is not derived from natural means, if I'm not mistaken. A sorcerer is like magic that is quote-unquote common, or at least from like heritage or from Earth. And then the wizard class is, you know, I don't know how to explain what the wizard class is like, to be honest, compared to the other two. How would you explain the wizard class compared to the other two? Warlock is the most splashable and versatile. Warlock is also extremely prone to team damage too. From my experience, Warlock has had a lot of effects on players' health. Monk is unfortunately one of the weakest classes in 5e, but still fun, which I'm super shocked about, because Monk is one of the most fun by far. I really like playing the elemental Monk class. Hi Teru! Good morning. Or no, good evening. Completely skipped the whole day. Sorcerer is a 2nd gen rich person, Warlock has a baby daddy, and Wizard is a nerd. Let me go ahead and oh my god, let me go ahead and sorry, give me 1 second, let me go ahead and pin this one, because that is so freaking good. Oh. They pay to win with magic. Wait, that is so good. Oh my lord. Warlock, you have a sugar daddy that gives you magic. Oh my god. Yes, the Eldritch Blast, the hands too are fantastic. Oh, they are fantastic. Nice BGM, I forget who's singing. This one is... Actually, I don't know what Kings and Queens are by. I completely forgot. Do monks have magic fists? They have a subclass that you can kind of spec into elemental, which is pretty sick. Wizard is about getting a lot of spells. You're the only caster who can copy spells from scrolls. If you want to get as many spells as possible, play Wizard. My friend, when he plays Wizard in Baldur's Gate. You're finding the right character sheet. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Thank you for explaining it, guys. It's it's so funny. Noble heritage, schooling for all in microtransactions. Oh my lord. The microtransaction is the best. I couldn't type it earlier, but the one time I played a half-orc, he was a barbarian that dreamed of being a golfer, so he would golf small creatures and inanimate objects away. Oh my, that is so unique. That is amazing. Oh, that is amazing. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, I'm sweating right now. I'm getting a little hungry too. What the heck? Alright, let's move on to the next part. Well, we kind of know each class. Well, I mean, maybe you guys know each class. They're great though. I think fucking D&D classes are fucking amazing. Oh, excuse me. Let me pull up my model again. Okay, we're so back. Okay. Excuse me. So the classes are here. Alright, let's get past this one a little bit. When you start getting into, like, I think it's past level 3 that you start, you get the subclasses of the, we get the subclasses. It gets really fun from there. Currently, I am, in my campaign that I'm playing, I am playing as a cleric whose domain is a domain of trickery, but I am tricking my party into thinking that I'm the domain of life through fake prayers and fake faith. And right now we are going about a dark path where my patron actually shows up, and now my my party is questioning my reason and my goals. So that's gonna be fun. I have a campaign coming up. I have a session coming up. Yeah, they can expand their domains, like Yoimo, you know? Well, what does he say? What? I don't know what he says. I forgot what Gojo says for his domain domain expansion. Something Yoimo. Yeah. The fighter is always a great class to play because you get the bonus. Excuse me, the bonus action attack. So fighter is always like a great class to start with if you're playing D&D for the first time. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Classes are here. More classes are here. Paladin classes are freaking favorite. I love playing Paladin so badly. Kind of tough for RP. Well, you just gotta be what's the word called? You gotta be creative in RP, I guess. But I guess in terms of like attacking wise, I think that RPing the fighter attack can not look as flashy as the other classes. Do love me some action surge though at level 5. Can you play as a dragon person? Yeah, you can play as Dragonborn. I would be interested in knowing your backstory for a Dragonborn player. I've also, okay, I'll be honest with you. In all the campaigns I've been in, all the campaigns, I've never ever seen a ranger before. I've never had a ranger in my party before. I may have had encountered, you know, against rangers, but I've never had a player play ranger. Why is that? Have you guys experienced that before? Like not encountering any ranger players, or not even like the main class of multi and OP monstrosity? Let me drink some water real quick. Rangers are bad in 5e. Would you consider that ranger is like not as played because a majority of the classes that can play, like you have proficiency in common weapons, can use like longbows and crossbows and stuff. Rangers in 3.5 were amazing. Why would you? What's the difference between Rangers in 3.5 compared to 5e then? What made them more interested in 5e? I mean, in 3.5e. In recent D&D editions, they're not really good. I almost exclusively play only as a ranger. Sad Boy is our first ranger main. Fuck yeah, let's go. Be proud. He's a weird... Let me just screenshot this real quick. Okay, I'm gonna just post this real quick onto the screen. The difference between players and their thoughts. Oh my god. Sad Boy, don't worry. Don't worry. To me, you're not weirdo. The Gloomstalker, yeah, the Gloomstalker's good. It's good. Now I've seen people talk about Gloomstalker. Beastmaster. Explain differences between 3.5 and 5 would take ages, but basically I took out a lot of the more complicated technical stuff. The feat system in particular made 3.5 Rangers very diverse. I see. Would you say that the Ranger in 5e, it's more simplified? Would you say it like that? Like, because of the technicality of it being removed, that it's like not a very, what's the word called? Not a very interesting character to play, I guess class to play. You see more Power Ranger characters than normal Rangers is crazy. Fighter, Action Surge, yeah. Level 5 fighter. My group doesn't pay to win, it's more like we play to be a problem. Whether it's for the world or for the DM, only time will tell. I'm sure it's for your DM. Your DM is probably like ripping out their hair right now with every session that passes. It's not very versatile. Oh, I see. You know what I was just thinking about? You know Cupid, right? Arrows? Where Cupid shoots out arrows that are meant to charm people. Can you imagine a kind of a homebrew ranger build where you shoot out arrows that are coated in certain pots that cause charm or cause that cast is like charm person. Well, maybe not each spell, well, not each arrow casts as charm person, because that'd be kind of broken, but you know what I mean? Like, what if you play as a homebrew Cupid character? That'd be quite funny. 5e Ranger is a jack of all trades, master of none. There isn't as much ability to make a well-defined build, and some of their skills are just overlap with rogue and fighter. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, some of the abilities and feats that you can play as Ranger, you can probably find in other classes and still get the benefits of those classes instead of just sticking with one class that, like Ranger, that doesn't really go to that extent, if anything. An aphrodisiac, oh my god, that'd be crazy. Would a Cupid be a Ranger Bard mix? You know, I can't see it because Ranger's primary stat, if I'm not mistaken, is Dex. I think the secondary is let's see. Oh, the saving throw is strength. So wait, I think Ranger is Ranger, wait, in order: Dex, Constitution, Charisma? I may be mistaken. I probably am mistaken. It's okay, we go next. Rogues are rogues. My last ranger was a homebrew where every magic arrow I shot was cursed by wild magic by some demon. That is fun. That is fun. Maybe I should try ranger sometime too. Maybe I should just experience it right. You know what's funny? In real life, a bow is a strength dex weapon. In the game, it is dex wisdom. Yes. Sorcerer build. Sorcerer is fun. Sorcerer. Wild magic. Warlock. Why would players choose, I guess, one over the other? What is for the sorcerer, wizard, and warlock players? So these are 3 spellcasters which have different trees that they branch into. What is your reason of choosing that specific spellcaster as opposed to the other one? I think that if I were to play the 3, I would probably play Warlock, because I've from the Warlocks that I've experienced and the Warlocks I've seen, they tend to be a very chaotic, neutral type of players, and the way that they use their abilities is very chaotic. Whereas sorcerers and wizards that I've played with and seen tend to be more of the neutral / lawful type of realm. Warlocks get their spell slots back after a short rest, the other 2 need a long rest. Daddy's magic, learn magic, spirit daddy's magic. The cast, yeah, the warlocks, they don't have much spell slots, right? Or they don't have much spells in general. Sorcerer gets things like twin spells, which can be very strong. I choose wizard for the bigger list of spell options and the ability to base my character on intelligence. Getting all those intelligence ability check bonuses. Warlock is probably more stronger and popular. Stuff to consider. I do really like the warlock, like the eldritch and the patrons that they have a lot. I am quite a big fan of that one. Alright, let's keep going though. And then we have the wizard class right over here too. That's the learned magic, with all the spells that they can possibly learn, but you have to get them ready. Something I would also not understand is ready spells and spells that are not ready. You know what I mean? I don't understand that. Okay. School of this one, School of Illusion. Oh, the necromancy. You should just be freaking Sun Jin Woo. I should just play a campaign as Sun Jin Woo. I'll be procking. Are we going into the necromancy build? I love sorcerer because I love the RP of your magic being something natural and inherited. Mechanically, I love metamic for changing what a spell can do, such as twinning a spell. Yes. Those are it's. I think that if you are a player that is knowledgeable in RP, or at least has a creativity to RP your class well, I can see how that would be really, really, really fun. And yes, this is Bardcore Funky Town. This is fantastic. Personality and background. Well, we know this one. Let's see. The backgrounds, the alignment and everything, the languages that you can speak. Let's see. Flaws, inspiration. Inspiration is great. Inspiration though, are inspirations typically given to players when the DM deems, an action or the choice that they made as something that is like unique, for example? Or like how is inspiration typically given to you guys? Meta magic. Yeah. Family, business versus nerds versus money. The 3 types of magic. I'm all about the money. It is the best. So let me just read this course. Your DM can choose to give you inspiration for a variety of reasons. Typically, DMs award it when you play out your character personality traits given to the drawbacks presented by a flower bond. Yeah, when your players go something cool or go through an arc. Can you give them negative inspiration? I'm gonna give Miss Fish negative inspiration. Could have gotten inspiration there. Yeah. I tend to give out inspiration for when a player engages in RP or problem solving that is something other than combat, sort of as a reward. That is awesome. That is awesome. I will keep that in mind. Okay. Got it. Mark down. Okay. Alright. Next part. Kazuma, thank you so much for joining back the Dust Baddies. Thank you for the membership again. Totally up to the DM. Personally, I give inspiration anytime someone makes a really good contribution to RP that fleshes out the story or defines character well. As a reward, baby, as a reward. So these are the different backgrounds that you can play. I've played criminal, I've done entertainer, I've done a hermit, I've done acolyte before. I think I've done a majority. I have not done the guild stuff. Guild artisan I've not done before, or I never had a background before. Outlander, I haven't done sage either. But these are really good like starting points for players to build their character on, which I think that the other girls would find to be much more easier, I guess you can say, for them. Equipment are self-explanatory, but that I think that if I were to when I DM as well, one thing I am gonna disregard is the what's the word called? The time it takes to remove and put on, but still consider the AC, and also the weight of everything is going to be very, I guess, annoying for me to know, because I think that I will just forget about it. So I think that I'm gonna have to disregard the weight of equipment and gold when I proceed on the sessions itself. Is there a Hikomori class? I don't think so. And yes, this is in the end Bard core style. Hello, Jocko. Yeah, I will probably ignore it completely. All the weapon types are here. Adventuring gear. Those are typical stuff. There's also something that what is this considered? In my campaign, I have a deck of wondrous something. I don't know if it's a deck of holdings or decks of wondrous goods or something like that. But what is that class of items called? Like stuff that are... Yeah, a deck of many things is what I have. But what is the... So a deck of many items, and also... Like... I think there's something like a mirror or something like that. Are they considered to be... like... What, I don't know what I'm trying to ask. Like, what class of items are they? I think is what I'm trying to get. The DMs don't bother. Wait, I never played a campaign where it mattered. I played a campaign where it mattered and it sucked. It sucked. It really, really sucked. Legendary items, wondrous magical items, magic items. Okay. So the additional magic items. Those are also really fun to play with too. Unless you have a good reason to within the narrative where it's really extreme circumstances, or if either massive weight or resource scarcity, tracking weights and ammo is usually just an annoyance. Yes, it is. Yes, it is extremely annoying. It is extremely frustrating. I never want to track the weights ever. Okay, I don't know about mountain vehicles because I've never really played a campaign where we actually use mounts, like handmade mounts. Man-made mount is what I'm trying to say. Services are great. Food, drinks, and lodging, those are great. Trinkets. Magical trinkets. I guess trinkets don't really do that much other than being an item to carry on RP. Be careful with that deck, it can kill you. Thank God I've not rolled that deck yet. It is still unopened in my pouch. I am using it when I need to. I might be using it soon for my patron, but we'll see. I probably won't deal with multi-classing at this time too, because multi-classing takes on a whole new class that I would not be able to track. So we'll skip that entirely. Nobody cares about how much the 15,000 GP in the character's pocket weigh. This shit is heavy. Lana, would you magic missile into the darkness? Absolutely. It'll light up the way, right? If it hits anything, then it's their fault for not lighting up the area in the first place, you know? Hello. Hi, Quack. Good morning. Good morning. Last interaction with a deck of many things, someone got put on a devil's hit list. Attaboy. Attaboy. That's what's up. Time to be cursed forever in your lifetime. Okay, so I think that these are pretty self-explanatory now, where it's like talking about the rest, the actual RP environment, long rest, short rest, initiatives, surprise attacks, order of combat, reaction, and also distance of distance depending on your movement speed, along with bonus action, terrain and how that can affect your movement speed, creature size. That I won't worry about creature size right now either. Disengaging, dodging. Either for trolls or for real life. I had a demon that tracked weight before, but only because they were like a pretty serious DM that wanted to have a pretty serious campaign. Unfortunately, we did not get to play much of that campaign, but having to track the weight of each item and the accompanied gold is quite difficult. Speaking of Spell Sniper, have you heard of that different magic in Little Witch No Beta? I actually don't even know what Little Witch No Beta is. Is it like a show? Question mark? Was it a manga? Yeah, 4:35 a.m. Good morning! You're up so early. Alright, let's see. I think that these are pretty self-explanatory and that we can definitely reset back to these when we need to. For now, we can quickly go into the DM's Dungeon Master's Guide. Now, this is awesome. Now, as a DM, the big picture got to your world, mapping your campaign, settlements, language, and dialects. So it's... I don't know whether or not I want to. Well, I do want to. I want to make a world, a campaign that's kind of based on, like, the environment-wise, is based on the Aegis Link kind of world. And it's... I wanted to incorporate, like, more modern day type of things, as opposed to being entirely like medieval / fantasy based. I want it to be more modern fantasy, but I think that because I don't really have knowledge in the space of world building and enough knowledge in DMing, that it might be more difficult for me to do that. But the ultimate goal is to make an Aegis Link D&D campaign. That is the ultimate goal. That is what I want to do by far. So, introduction. Let's say the world that I want to make is like, yes, I wanted to make it a multiverse where the campaign takes place on like modern Earth, but with our backstories. So it has that like fantasy type of setting, question mark. It's like you think of it as like what's a good example? Sword Art Online season 2 and 3, like having that fantasy yet modern aspect to it kind of thing. Contextual skill checks for history or society might be easier to pass if you're allowed smartphones or internet access. Yeah, internet access, yes. Sword Art Online FF. Yeah, I get. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can say it like that. So, for example, like, even if this world is powered by electricity, maybe the magical items or, you know, certain types of machinery that is used for, I don't know, blacksmithing or for taming or stuff like that can be powered by like magical crystals like in Final Fantasy, or like warships can be powered by these gigantic mana crystals and stuff like that. So there's still that modern aspect, even though there's still that fantasy aspect to it. That's kind of the world where I want to make. And I guess weapons wise, like, sure, I might be out of spell slots, but I'm not out of options. And I pull out like a Desert Eagle or something like that. That'd be kind of funny too, you know? Like still having that modern type of thinking, but still keeping that D&D aspect to it. Me using Fireball to cook my instant ramen. Exactly. I love places where I can use magic in the boomstick. Exactly. You can check out the Unsleeping City for inspiration. It's a D&D show that is running a game in modern day New York, but with D&D type fantasy. That sounds amazing, Mulderin. Oh my god. Do you mind if you're on a Discord? Would you mind just posting the Unsleeping City in my channel, so I can save it for later? Because I 100% would love to check that out. The only D&D campaign that I follow based in NYC is Bards in New York. They're also a really good D&D group too. Is electricity naturally supplied or magically supplied? I would say that electricity is naturally supplied as you are in modern day. But then the magically supplied, maybe electricity might not be enough to power up the machinery that requires that is used for magic stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, steampunk. Oh my god, steampunk is the fucking word I was trying to find. Like a very steampunk type of vibe. Oh my god. If you have mana crystals, if there's no lifers in the world, they are the equivalent of nuclear reactors when combined with crystals. Yeah, I would say they are equivalent to nuclear reactors, but the mana crystals maybe are... So of course nuclear and nuclear reactors are government based, but mana crystals can be what's the word called? Can be mined for, or can be grinded for, I guess you can say. So you can't just like mine for nuclear reactors or nuclear technology and stuff like that. But then for mana crystals, you can get them from dungeons, for example, or mining them yourself or finding them. Like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like my mind is like I love the cross between modern meets magic, like that kind of thing. Oh, another one. Even though I don't like this anime, the series, the one magical school where the sister is in love with the brother, whichever that one is. I don't like that anime, just to make it clear. I do not like it. I like the premise of it. I think the reason for the school and the brothers' kind of skill is really cool. I don't like the plot at all, but that is also, I would say, another example of what I'm thinking in terms of the world building. So I'm just saying, Eberron's setting is quite different from the typical Sword Coast adventuring, including the Magitech. Magitech is another word that I am looking to use. Sully, that is perfect. Sully, again, I'm so sorry. If you're also in the Discord, Sully, would you mind putting the Eberron setting and also even the word Magitech into the channel so I can also keep track of that? Also, I can do it here too. Eberron setting, Magitech. So I just like, I have so many things going on in my mind right now. For example, maybe a steampunk world sees a tons of rain because of the water vapor being released. That is so freaking cool. Every aspect, that is so cool. Can we have a campaign as an airbender? Well, how would you, I mean, unless you're going monk, elemental monk, maybe that'd be a justification for how you're going airbender. The campaign I'm starting tonight is a pirate-themed steampunk campaign. That sounds amazing, Sad Boy. I hope you had a lot of fun. So, let me catch up. Let me catch up with the stream. So I'm still behind in the chat. Give me 1 second. I dropped a YouTube link to episode 1 of the Unsleeping City and Lon's Kitchen for you later. Thank you! I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch it. I'm so excited. Yes! Maho, the Irregular and Magic High School. That is the one. That is the one. Hello for the great version. How are you? Why would I want a nuclear reactor when they have a perfecto working magic generator? Proceeds to cast fireball to book water, turn a turbine and generate electricity. Exactly. Didn't D&D have custom backgrounds, custom racial? Yes, they do. It's a great like foundation for you to base your character on. It has a lot of different backgrounds, have different types of proficiencies, along with starting equipments and such. Yeah, the irregular at that high school, that I still don't understand it. I don't get it, because the premise of the irregular high school was like, it was interesting because being able to decode magic, and but then it turned into all of that. Like, what's going on? Like, I didn't want to be involved. I follow Legends of Aventurus. Yes, that's what I don't follow. Narrative decoration though. I actually don't know narrative decoration. Put that on the list too. I need to check that out. Is the one they have the white and green uniforms? I think the Warforged ones are from Eberron. Those magic construct people, and it's perfect setting for this. That's on the list as well. No, it's because I'm trying to like formulate my sentences in my head and I'm having difficulty. So that's why maybe the translator isn't working, because I'm the one that's having trouble translating. You know what I mean? That's my fault. The whole main goal of the character is to actually make fusion reactor using magic. Yeah, what's up with the sister? What's up with the brother? You know, like I was watching for the magic, not for incest. Like, what is going on? There's an entertainer background that you can choose, and I guess technically you could be a jester. You can be a jack of all trades. Like, imagine a jester being imagine playing a mime character. That'd be kind of interesting, and just not talking throughout the entire campaign. We typically make our characters on D&D Beyond and then play in person. The website just makes it easier to track everything. Yeah, D&D Beyond is really good. It's just great for the character sheet. It tracks really well. I haven't played in person in quite a long time, that's why. I've only played online, so Roll20 has like the map the character sheet, the kind of like the information, so it's a little easier to use that one. Hi Kazu, have a good day. Daichi, good luck at work today. Mime with chantless magic, that is so sick. That would be so sick. Mime that can only talk via vicious mockery. That is the mime can only talk if it uses vicious mockery, and it has to roast whatever it's being used on every time. It can only talk in the form of roasting. I once heard a story where some guy turned water into liquid called NaK, which explodes when it touches water and blew up a cave. Well, that sounds fun. Okay, let me, oh my god. So we want to make a world. So the big picture of the world. Oh, this is really cool. Core assumptions. Gods oversee the world, and much of the world is untamed. The world is ancient. Conflict shapes the world's history. The world is magical. I think that for our story, I think that we should see that. I think that I'm more inclined to go towards the world is magical, or conflict shapes the world history. Because I think it was Nier that was it Nier? It was like the fight between humanity and machines or something like that. So having that kind of conflict as the background for why the world is shaped to be the world it is, and how we can incorporate Aegis Link into it, and the whole magic tech thing would be quite cool. Imagine you're fighting a mime and suddenly breaks the silence and tells you your mom didn't love you. God, that's ow. I don't need that, but thanks. That's a little painful, to say the least. Yeah, it's like Nier Automata, right? Nier Automata is like, what was it? Humans against machines? So how we want to sort this up is that the world that we're based in is going to be in, I would say it's like Earth, but world setting is based on conflicts of the past, along with androids against machine. Oh yeah, androids against machine. Yeah, okay. I really want to play Nier Automata sometime, by the way. It's the entire aesthetic of it is like my favorite, and the soundtrack for Nier is really great. Again, I'm just absolutely horrible at playing single player games, but I would love to try it one day. Earth, but not this Earth? Are all players, characters, NPCs, enemies, all OP anime manga characters? No, I don't think they would be all OP. I don't think there's ever I don't think there's gonna be this Earth is still gonna have gods and patron, because that is what religion is, but it's not going to be the reason for everything. I think the strong reason for the creation of this world is based on conflict and magic. I think is easier. Hello Plagueis, how are you? The world is magical. One of my first campaign, we were magical beings brought to our world to stop the BBG. Samurai Jack, but modern day setting. That is amazing. With the mix of magi tech. Okay? And so it's there is magic and modern day machinery powered by magic and crystals. However, the world still galaxies is still seen as modern day Earth? Question mark like that. If Lana does D&D, does that mean that she could be a marketable plushie? Lana is a marketable plushie. You're quite cute, no? Religion is created because it's things we don't comprehend, but we try to comprehend. Yeah, it's stuff that's, you know, religion in this world is still the reason, or it's still a reason of reasoning for people and for players, but it is not all controlling. The world is not created solely for the patrons, but the world is created based on mankind's actions and conflicts throughout history. And so like Dark said, so based on the conflicts and the appearance of ancient magic that has been reformed or kind of reconstructed so that modern day humans can use it, and how tech and how modern day Earth is built around conflict and ancient magic. Sorry, I'm like trying to put it into words. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If Addie was a character in D&D, I feel like Addie in D&D, she would be a half dragonborn, half dragonborn, half elf, half dragonborn. I don't think she would be full dragonborn unless there is a sub race of dragonborn where there's still a pure humanoid, but with the characteristics of dragonborn. Does that make sense? Anime isekai where the peasants were reliant on technology because they had no magic attunement, and the nobles rarely used tech because they were magically attuned. I think I know which one you're talking about, Kitsune, but I don't recall it. In my game, I have areas where magic is so dense to go in, it has harm to permanently change. This is what I call the blight. And that's really interesting. Half dragonborn, half tiefling succubus. I mean, what? Can somebody screenshot that so I can send that to Miss Adi? Thank you. Will there be lessons on how to make a mostly balanced homebrew? Well, I'm not going to know. Unfortunately, I'm also learning on the spot too. Like, this is me trying to interpret what I can see. Like, interpret this as a homebrew campaign that still relies on 5e for all the other mechanics. D&D dragons, is that new? Or D&D dragons being able to take on the human forms? Stealing fire from the gods type shit? Exactly. Turning ancient, what was known to be unknown and ancient, to something that is everyday use. Oh my god. My mind is so small. Unknown and ancient magic being reconstructed as for everyday use, basing modern day technology around and with said magic properties? Question mark? Like gold dragons? So maybe then I don't know how. So for sure Miss Fish is gonna be human. Miss May, I think I'd have to look up the other classes, other races in the other book on what she can be, because she's not so she's a fairy, but I wouldn't consider her to be a fairy that you would see typically in D&D, because those are smaller, but they're also leaning closer to, if I recall correctly, more closer to evil than they are to good for fairies and pixies. Unless that's just pixies and I'm bugging. stealing M16s from the gods. Look, if God had given me an M6, then I'm going to take it and use it in my campaign. I think every game should be a bit of homebrew. That's just good storytelling. Good DMs can do that for sure. I am not a good DM because I haven't DM'd yet, but I will learn eventually. I will learn eventually. So okay. I can cast Fireball to cook this hamburger. That's how I can see it. I can fill a tub with water, create water into this bathtub. It's something that you can do, but maybe each. So maybe there's a difference between. Maybe there is a difference between humans who can attune to magic, those who have the ability to do so, but not to the point of using said magic, and then those who cannot use magic at all and rely on magical tools and crystals for it, like that kind of thing. Eladrin, yeah, Eladrin might be something that she would use more of. She would be more of as opposed to being a fairy, because taking into account age and also her alignment, maybe that would be more attuned to her character. Rude Tales of Magic, the first season runs on 5e-ish mechanics, but a lot of improv and homebrew throughout. Please, and please send that to me. Please post that into the channel. I must look at this. I must look at it. Do people use tech to recreate magic, or do people cast it itself? I think because maybe because of if you know, everyone is attuned to a certain point, whether it is not at all for a little bit or has a lot of potential, that though they use tech to do, like, I would say those who have the highest potential in attunement in terms of heritage or learning can cast, but those who are not attuned to it as well can only use it if it's through a different medium, right? Like, maybe, but that makes sense. Starting to sound more like MH. No, it's not. I'm gonna make myself Deku. Would it also be a clash of lifestyles? Like, would you have humans that want the ease of access to technology, but that will lead to the loss of magic, and humans that want to keep the magic to preserve magic in the world? So that could also be considered actually a political play where you have the side of humanity that wants to develop technology to overwrite the potential strength of magic, where they want humans to be the ultimate victor, right, and control magic and take over magic, whereas you have the other side, which maybe is more like preserving the olds, the ancients, and the past, and they try to preserve magic and overrule technology. So maybe that could be that political type of play, if that can make sense too. Oh my god, like, everything is like spilling out of my head, but I actually really like that too. Clash of lifestyles, humanity, a side of humanity that I actually really like the way you worded it. That wants I'll copy that, wants the ease of access with technology, and controlling the strength of magic side of humanity that wishes to preserve ancient magic and the preserve ancient magic and how'd you put that into words? Oh my god, my mind. It could be like technology surging would just be a way to solve problems, which could be solved with magic, but would be a waste of mana. Like candles allowing you to create a small fire without fireball. Yeah. So let me just also further add on to this one. Technology can be created for the ease of everyday functions, or to be used as a medium for magical means. IG, instead of cast fireball for candles, use a lighter. Like that kind of thing, I guess, would be good. Some people like to play characters who don't understand magic at all, and this is open for them. Yeah. I don't like using much magic, or I guess I'm not as knowledgeable about spells and magic that I would go for a spellcaster. So this kind of setting would fit me really well. The future's advancement and the past relics. Oh, I love that. I'll finish that sentence. Future's advancement versus past's relics. I really like that too. Versus elitist conflicts between supporters of magic. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I like the elitist conflicts between supporters of Magitech and between supporters of Magitech and those and future kind of man-made and man-made technology. I'll just leave it at that for now. I don't know how to word it. Good combination of magic and tech, even hybrid items. Starfinder, is that like additional thing? Like that Starfinder is not in not in the player's handbook, right? Maybe that'd be hard for me to know. Oh my god, you guys are giving me so much good ideas. Please give me 1 second. Let me just make this chat a little bit bigger for me to read. Side of humanity that wishes to preserve ancient magic and the endless potential of the arcane arts. Fuck, that is so good. Humanity that wishes to preserve ancient magic and the endless potential of arcane arts. That is so good. No, please, the summaries are all, you guys are literally spitballing so many fantastic and amazing like foundations for me. Like this is so freaking cool. This is everything I've ever wanted to do. I love it. I love it so much. D&D pixies are tricksters who steal stuff. Sprites are tiny warrior classes. Nymphs are basically tree spirits, and fairies are cousins of both pixies and sprites that are a lot less consistent. Yes, what Plaga said. Pixies are the worst. I hate dealing with pixies. I hate pixies. I do love nymphs. I love nymph race a lot. And fairies are okay. But I have not encountered fairies as much as I have with pixies and nymphs. So Mr. Incredible's type of world where people have power, but there's a faction that wants to make it having those powers irrelevant. Yeah, it essentially a side of the world where they want to control, take over, and to use for advancing humanity. It's a whole thing. I would say it's a whole thing of controlling who gets it and how it's used for, maybe. Oh, Starfinder is a branch off of Pathfinder, which is a third-party successor to D&D 3.5. Oh, I've never heard of Starfinder before, but knowing that it's a branch off of Pathfinder, which means that it has a lot of things I've never read before, which I'd be very interested in reading about and reading up on. Is there any campaigns that you guys have followed that use Starfinder? Are Martians endgame content a part of the main story? I think that Martians would be a very homebrew race, no? Because I don't think I would use Martians and aliens in the same way that you would see it now, where people are using it as like a conspiracy thing. But in the realms of the arcane, that there may be a reason for everything, you know? Regulation versus free magic. Wow, I like that too. The age-old strife of not all evolution and technology is good or produces good results. Advent of technology could lead to the loss of magic and turn a weaker state of humanity, but that's just going off the trope. Very cool. That is amazing. That is amazing. Oh my god, my mind is like going in all directions right now. Okay, let's continue on. So this is kind of like the world setting, the Earth, the alternate Earth that I would like to kind of use for it. No. I will not delve into space travel or time travel at this time, because that is way too complex for my small, itty-bitty little brain. I cannot think of that at all. So I will choose not to. How accessible are the magic tech to people? At what point does one become more efficient to use in like street lighting, transportation, cooking food? Is it taxed and does it need a license to use? Ooh! Okay. No, that's really good. So I think that it, because if we base off magic attunement in humans to societal hierarchy and it could be that magitech is not magitech that oh, how do I put this? I think I would say that magitech is not readily available or accessible by all people, but would be accessible by, of course, by government, or like state and federal and city. But because magitech is used for convenience as opposed to being used for replacement for daily uses, depending on societal norms, and also, I guess, how you kind of place in this type of setting, magitech would not be accessible otherwise. Does that make sense too? It's like, but then if you are someone who is very attuned to magic in the first place, perhaps that as a form of free magic could be used if you are brave enough to go about it. But I don't know how to like map this out now. I'm getting confused. What's ley lines? After crater? Because you can, a lot of people trying to control magic, like areas and towns, and they'll just cut off from magic and how hard it can be to get by because magic is so constant. Yes. It's just, I feel like there should be a division of when magitech is available to the people, and also places where it's not available to the people at all. For clarification, are people born with the ability to use magic? So I would say that in terms of the ability to use magic is up to the attunement. If you're a normal person, you can either use, or you either have the potential of learning it if you're learning it, you know what I mean? Or you can be on the side that just doesn't know it at all. And maybe that's a more common one. I would say that unless it is genetics or in the heritage, like family-wise, that people innately are not going to use magic off the bat unless it's like a form of like wild chaos or like or like it's unconscious kind of thing, or if it's like something that they accidentally learned about, that kind of thing. Like, does that make sense? Like, I don't know what I'm saying. I feel like if people are able to know it, like if they have potential off the bat and they use it off the bat, I don't think that would make as much sense because that is conscious using. But if it's not conscious and it's for the state of chaotic, that is more likely for people to use magic if they have been learned about it previously. That kind of thing. What the heck? My brain is like so small. Magic that controlled by the institutions of the world, but wild free magic is available for those who have the heart and wisdom to seek it out at the cost of being seen as refined and such. That is, wow. I'm taking that too. Thank you. No, I really like that because this does explain like how I would like to see it as. That is good. 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 Institutionalized magic tech in the black market equivalent due to the oppressive nature of attuned humans versus non-attuned humans. Are humans able to attune? If not, they must turn to the black market. If they can attune that magic, then magic tech would be very expensive. Magic in itself is free form. You can craft spells, summons, whatever. Whereas magic tech is linear. You can use magic lantern for light. Fuck, that is such a good way to say it. Stealing this as well, putting this onto the thing. Thank you very much. Oh my god, Kitsune. Oh my god, Kitsune. This is like so good. Because then now we have like now by doing so, we have the system where those who are who don't have the potential, but wish to have the potential, have this way, maybe there's like a evil way to get attuned to it, like forcefully attuned to it, if they don't have the potential to do so, if they're trying to grow their potential. Maybe that could be a form of conflict. Maybe that's a separate organization kind of thing. Ley lines are kind of like the invisible flow of magic users that feed or empower people. The other thing is that anything can be used as a weapon if the desire to harm protect is strong enough, especially if the person is imaginative enough. Very, 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 very RP based. Very good. Would you allow warlocks in this setting because warlocks forego the traditional schooling, so a magic school dropout, for someone who would never otherwise be able to cast spells? Yeah, I think I would still allow warlocks. I think that maybe the classes in this case would be based on. I think that as opposed to, no, because it wouldn't make sense if it's like loosely based on, because you're still trying to get all the feats and the features of the classes for your character. Maybe it would be like, my head. I would still allow warlocks. But I think that they would have to build their story, the story of their character, lore of their character, to match the world setting well enough to accept that. You know what I mean? Like, I think I definitely can still see warlocks coming into play, even though they do and they can defy what some of the things that we've said. I'm used to working with text, so I'm doing mental gymnastics. That's me right now. That's me. That's me doing mental gymnastics too. Warlocks, such as people taking magical loans or being sugar babies, are very powerful magical beings that want to achieve stuff. Hell yeah. Sugar babies. Any warlocks here wanna be my sugar baby? I'll teach you magic. Can one of the characters secretly be an anomaly or a singularity or whatever and basically be a glitch on the otherwise perfected magical system? I mean, I'm not saying like it's not possible. I think that with the system that we have, that is definitely possible. But like, I think that I'm not skilled enough as a DM to allow that kind of factor, unless one of our homebrew campaigns will be that there is a singularity that we're trying to either defeat, to find a source of, or trying to seal. In that case, maybe that type of homebrew context would be really sick. Like, so what if there is a campaign that we do where there is a singularity running amok who is highly attuned to magic, and their existence should not exist. Like they should be sealed up. So the goal that the DM gives you is that your goal is to seal this singularity, this anomaly, who's appeared in some place after escaping from a lab or something. You must seal them through the means of collecting some magical tools, or seal them through collecting enough manpower. But then maybe the campaign can go one of two ways, where you do collect it and you seal it because it's for mankind. But then you collect it and you approach it in an RP way, where you see the singularity as a human trying to live despite being so powerful in a way that impacts the political and societal states. And you don't seal them. And maybe that could be another way that you could go about the campaign. Like, I think that in itself would be really cool to be used as a reason of an adventure. Does that make sense? Wonder if there may be special organs in people that determine their magical proficiency with something like aura, because in the former you would definitely have black market magic organ traits. I can see that too, which would be really cool to build. Oh, story-wise, let me write this down too. Black market. Let me go ahead and parentheses that. Because it could be ways for people to Frankenstein or to experiment on creating something or someone that is very tuned. Maybe that's like the creation of the android type of things, where you have a magitech, a man-made magitech persons. Oh my god, my brain is like going out of whack. Amelia in the Level 0 Hero good book series? Is that a manga? Level 0 Hero. Person went to the deepest reach of the ocean and found a small crack in Grant and got into contact with Cthulhu and is granted power. That is evil. That is evil. That is evil. Dark, thank you for the super. See if this metaphor makes sense. Magic is the art of the world. Some are inclined to learn it faster, but everyone will have to study it. Magic threatens free magic like AI is doing to art. I think that, yeah, that does make sense. Magitech is a condensed and simplified version of how people can use magic through media means, but it's not like free magic, where free magic has potentials beyond what humans can comprehend just through tech. But that's definitely what we're going for sure. And thank you for the super again, Dark. Aura-based setup might lend better to having patrons and such, though. I agree. Because I think that, like, in D&D 5e, patrons can grant to worshippers, right? But I feel like in this case, if we were to have patrons, I feel like granting might be a bit overpowered if the world itself already has the ability for you to use certain things without being given them, question mark, per se. But that is really good. Make them like a revolutionary kind of like third party to this two-party world right now. Fucking amazing. That'd be amazing. Forcing attunement, if there is a universal constant, just you can run it that the force attuned are branded or marked by the power that be not as true magic. They have dark arts or oh my god, my brain my brain is going crazy right now. Mad scientist making ultimate magic user. That would make for a insane story. Making ultimate magic user or organization, creating ultimate non-dying army. Because besides with magic, there's also necromancy as well, which is a form of magic, isn't it? So imagine a plot using necromancy as the enemy factor. An undead army. Non-dying army, undead army. Would war forged in this world be like man-made robotic servants that gain sentience via the magic coursing through the systems? I think that what could be agreed on is that the political forces do not create man-made robotic servants or man-made robotic persons, right? So they don't gain sentience. So their stopping point for policies is to not put magic into humans, because that could be a catastrophe, right? That can create things that we don't even know. But a side of it could be that if our organization does do that would be a form of conflict that can create war or potential war. Patrons aren't just for worshipers, it's just them granting power cheaply, but they are bound to do whatever the patron wants. Yeah. Why do people hate Magitech? God is dead and we killed him, says human wielding bloodstained Magitech weapon. Oof. Yikes. Oopsies. Oops. I'll put a link in the Discord. Thank you so much. I am so excited to read through everything and go through everything and watch everything. It is gonna be insane. Oh my god. Whew. The Lich King Queen? Yup. That's definitely one of the scarier things to fight in D&D. My Warforged was lost tech and the king wanted to regain the tech to make a new army. That is such a good campaign idea. Oh my god, this is... Oh, my mind is like... This... I really like what we've done so far. I don't know about you guys, but I am like thoroughly like enjoying every single idea that we put down. Imagine if those species inclined with magic have special organs that activate and trigger when they do, or think of specific activations they are being donated to have a chance for others to use. Is that something that is... If we do choose to go on the route that humans are born with, like, would it be an organ? Would it be a hormone? Would it be what would it be to make them magic? I guess the question we need to answer is how do we know how attuned persons are to magic? Like how can we know that? Would it be through special types of tests? Enzymes created in the body? organs, that could also, then that way we can explain how the black market would work. Like a trunk with mammoths? Yeah, I did see articles on the mammoth stuff. Crazy stuff. We went from having lessons to making anime plots. We have a lot of... It's very different. Final boss fight against a superhuman mage sewn together from hundreds of corpses now beyond the control of its creator. Its second phase happening when unexpected enters a contract with the patron. It becomes sentient and a patron is able to connect it to it because it's sentient and it's granted powers that are still, you know, stronger than the regular person's because it is a Frankenstein of different stuff. Oh my god. I do like part of the brain actually does work because we oftentimes see zombie movies use part of the brain as an example as to why, you know, certain people are affected or how fast they're affected and stuff, right? Question mark. This is all very good stuff, guys. We have a lot to sleep on and think about. Because now that we have gotten, it's the first page. The God of the Worlds. Oh, we have to think about the religious system, the God of the Worlds, the ranks of the worlds. What kind of world, like the religion, whether or not it is like... I really like this kind of stuff. Like dualism, these stuff, one deity, nature deity kind of thing. To test for magic, there are several solutions. You can have a catalyst, an orb crystal magical creature that reacts to magic. A magic can tune persons or persons inspect people until they are attuned from a personal experience. There's a trope of throwing the young into intense tests to see if the magic comes forth in dire straits. I've seen all cases of that before, and we can definitely put that down as well. Catalyst to determine attunement percentage. Test from young. Let's say like I think that when you read the mangas and stuff like that, maybe like age 7 to 10 are ages that they can they can do like a test maybe like once a year from that age to determine what I guess the potency, to determine potency. And then the person's experience, how do you spell experience? Persons to determine others. Like, will this be like I guess you also see this commonly in the isekai, not isekai, the fantasy tropes too. Then again, some could have different things that cause magic, like one person has different part of brain or unique blood or organs. It's a bit random. That's lots to think about, huh? Because it's true, because then once you figure out whether or not someone has the potential, what kind of line do they go about? How do they choose their class, and how does that determine what they spec into? You know, like now we're thinking about how the classes take place into this type of alternate Earth that we're thinking about. Iron Giant into the BBG into the sun. With the help of our wizard, all of us died. Good cause, good cause. Fallout New Vegas, where neither side of the argument is explicitly evil and both arguments have their pros and cons. Yes. I don't think there should be like a set way on whether there's good and evil. I think that's determined by the players and the persons of the world, right? There is no evil or truly good side. There is just a side that you believe in more. The experienced person would be an oracle, borrowing the patron's power to sniff out if you have magic. Yes. It'd be oracle, EG, oracle, borrowing patron's power to test upon others. Yeah. HP and MP pots makes you gotta pee later. I mean, all liquids are liquids. They all go down to the digestive system. Military selection and placement. You see it in quite a few mangas. There's actually one manga that I read that's like this family, this super powerful family that tests the children's from young with like hellhounds and stuff like that or something like that, and to determine how well they'll fit into the family, or if they have the potential to grow into a warrior and stuff like that. Yeah. Can oracles become corrupt? I would say so, yeah, because I think wouldn't it be ultimately up to the oracle's alignment and the patrons? Because can't the patron also determine whether or not they would provide the oracle power, depending on, you know, their actions and stuff like that? Like, wouldn't it? And can't patrons also take away from oracle, or like from people that they give the power to? Am I mistaken? Because I don't really understand the dynamic of patron to persons too much. Whether or not powers that are borrowed can be, I mean, saying that it's borrowed, which means it can be taken away, but can powers be taken away once given? You start a side game where the players go through 8 years of magical academy that has 4 competitive houses to figure out their specialization. So this is going into like going into what? The Hogwarts or the other, there's another one that does like the academy stuff for specialization. I don't remember. Your healing pots is just gonna be like Gatorade. Like electrolytes are your stamina and HP. Your electrolytes are your HP. Your caffeinated ones are your stamina. And then for MP, it's like, I don't know, fucking juice or something. Corrupt isn't always world domination, sometimes it's greed. Yes, of course. Patrons grant power and can take it away, but once your deal is completed, you can keep the powers. Yes. Barbarians have unique muscles, mages, artificers have unique brains, sorcerers have unique blood, maybe. So if we were to go about, you know, certain classes being like having some unique portions that make them more able to take on that class that they're meant for, the oracles, not only to determine like the potency, but what if there's something that, what if there is a type of power or ability that can be borrowed to see the efficiency of their organs? I guess it's the efficiency of their organs, like, and maybe, do you get what I mean when I say that? Like efficiency of organs, if we're going on the route of, you know, classes having unique organs or unique types in their body. And in that sense, it would also, if we were to go that route, it would be cool if someone who is predetermined to be, like, for example, a barbarian or a fighter, still try to fight the system by taking on, you know, magical, like Magic Academy classes to try to become like a sorcerer instead. Like it would be a cool character trait to have, a cool character background to have if they were to go about that way. In regards to gods, you can have any number of gods, but there could be 2 classes. You can have the oh my god, that's so good! Old arcane gods versus new magitech gods. Clash of freeform magic versus formulaic magic, or created magic. You know? Fuck, that's so good. Oh, that is amazing. That is Kitsune. That is chef's kiss. Mwah. I love that wording. I love that wording so much. That is so good. The new gods have designs to replace the old gods entirely for self-serving purposes. The idea of new Magitech gods, I think, would fit that really well. Depending how you view gods, it could be created a la Final Fantasy style by having enough people pray to a concept. Yes, yes, a Magitech patron could be a bit trickier. Maybe gods that betray their kind. Or I like the idea of old arcane gods being like their strength of old arcane gods being arcane gods being reliant on the belief of the peoples and worship. Right, so the same idea of people praying to a concept. The stronger a patron / god is equivalent to how much belief they have in how much belief and how much of a space of presence they have in the world. Drink these 3 handles of raw meat to test your liver's efficiency. Yeah, a sorcerer barbarian. Oh my god, I love Mosh. I want to reread it again. It's so good. Oh my god, I'm sweating with how much like is flowing through my brain. This is all so good. There's a barbarian subclass that allows you to shoot lightning out of their muscles. What class is that? That is crazy. Guys, I want to continue this right now. But I think that we should also leave this to the next roll for Lanitiative stream. Because my stomach is starting to hurt a little bit again. Unfortunately, my stomach is weak. It is weak. So I think that this is a good place for us to pause. And during the next roll for Lanitiative stream, we should pick it up again. I genuinely had such an amazing time reading through everything, brainstorming, just bouncing off of you guys for this one. Like, this is everything I could ever want and more. Okay. Thank you once again, guys, for, oh my god, allowing me to cast my creativity yet lack of creativity and like joy for D&D and all this. And thank you for joining in with your everything. You got Hatsune Miku. I really like, unfortunately, like, I've been holding off the stream for so long because I just didn't have the time nor the kind of like the mental capacity to like fully put my all into it. But I can very happily say that today and right now I didn't know what to expect going in, but I am going out so, like, this is everything I can ever need and more. Like, this is exactly how I wanted to start this up. Like, this is everything. This is everything to me. I had so much fun getting to brainstorm this with you guys, and I really love our foundation. I'm so excited to dive more into how we can really solidify the reason, the who, what, why, hows, and also talk about the classes and if whether or not we should change them depending on our world setting. But getting into the nitty-gritty of how we can test for attunement, I think, is going to be the most intriguing part, and I really loved everything that we had spoken about. I will post the link to the Discord into the chat here if you guys are interested in coming by to just talking with the Dust Buddies, talking with me, and talking to everyone else in the server. There's a lot of amazing people. Feel free to do so. My god, that was I had so much fun. I can only hope that you guys did as well, and that you guys enjoyed it all. I will be heading off now to judge my stomach problem, tell my stomach problem to stop having problems. But for now, thank you so much everybody for joining in. I hope that once again you guys had a fun time, an enjoyable time, or you guys were okay with, you know, a beginner like me learning D&D as if it was my first time again and stuff, and just like hearing all this like brain splatter everywhere. Thank you once again. I hope that you guys have a great day. I will post the schedule tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday. Just rolling nat 20. I've been rolling nat 1s all my life. Oh. Okay, guys. Have a good night. 我吃完. 我吃完. Bye bye.